All right, going. We're going live here. I've already got a message here from. Let's see. From Laser Storm says, "Hope you upload the stream later. I can't make it, but please tell me you've got some advice to stop this madness chain. Nothing has clicked with me yet, and that voice is so loud. I listen. Hey, I hope I have some advice tonight. I'm excited to be here. Um, I will be honest with you. 9 o'clock is not my normal time for these, so I'm going to try and bring the energy and get up for this what I'm about to share with you tonight. I've got a training for you. Let me find my notes here. I've got them somewhere. I'm excited to share with you tonight. We're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, and the reason we're talking about imposter syndrome today is because I had my coaching call with my OB Foundation students today, and this was a topic that got discussed quite a bit. And so I thought I would come on and do a YouTube live tonight. I was planning on doing some sort of training webinar or something tonight. I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to do, and when this came up today, it was like, well, that's what we need to talk about. That's what we're going to do. So I have a short training planned for you. Give it a couple minutes. Let some people get on. Let me know where you're tuning in from. This is it's 9 o'clock Eastern time, which means we're hopefully catching people throughout the country that are just getting off work or so hopefully this is a good time for people. I think from what I understand, 9 o'clock is a pretty good time to do these type of trainings because you do get more people from the rest of the country. I've been doing a lot of these live trainings lately, and they're really fun and exciting, and I like the interaction, and so I'll probably be doing more of them. But I see a message from Quality Assurance, man. Glad to catch a live stream. We're glad to have you on. So anyway, all right. Well, let's get going here. Let's talk about some imposter syndrome tonight. This is something I've dealt with, and let me just close out some windows so I don't have too much stuff going on in the background. Brandon, my Thursday is going great. I am happy to be here. So let me see. I'm getting my notes together here. So anyway, let's get going. So my name, for those of you who don't know, is Jim Hart. I'm the founder, I'm the leader of the OB Foundation's membership community where we help you to start, build, grow, and protect your online business. And I'm here with another training tonight to this time help you overcome and manage the obstacles, overcome the mindset issues, and deal with all the things that are holding you back from becoming your best self and building an online business that is going to change your family's future. So tonight I want to talk about an issue that became a central theme of one of our coaching calls earlier today, and that was imposter syndrome. For those of you that aren't familiar with imposter syndrome, I'm sure many of you are. It's a problem that plagues many entrepreneurs. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in business for 20 years, it's not an issue that goes away. It's something that I struggle with quite regularly, and I know a lot of people struggle with this issue. It's the idea that, why should somebody pay me to do this? It's what makes me well suited to teach this any more than anybody else is suited to teach this, right? So do I really know enough to be teaching on this topic? And so this is a topic that, like I said, is near and dear to my heart because I've been dealing with this issue for as long as I've been in business, which I first started my own business, my law firm, I started in 2005, and I've pretty much been an entrepreneur ever since. So tonight I want to share with you my story of how I overcame imposter syndrome in my own life so that I can help you figure out how you're going to overcome it in yours. And I guarantee you can overcome it. There's just some things that you need to do that. So let me share with you a little bit about my story. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what life was like for me when I first got started with my business and with my online business. And so let's talk about when I first got started as a lawyer. Now, most lawyers who come out of law school are actually scared to death to open their own practice. And I remember having conversations with so many people in the law school library, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own firm. They're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? You're nutso. There's no way you should be doing that. That's ridiculous. But I was excited about opening my own firm, but I was also nervous. Let's be honest. Before you actually go into business for yourself, everyone's nervous. And I was one of those people. I was nervous. And so, but here's what happened. So I graduated from law school and I couldn't actually find a job. Like I could not find a job. And this is going to sound bad, but I went to work for the public defender's office. And honestly, it was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And a lot of lawyers, they scoff at going to work in public service like that. When you graduate from law school, the goal is get a job at one of those big firms, make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't my path, and that wasn't the way I went. So I took a job at the public defender's office, and a lot of other lawyers, they went to work at firms where they did a lot of research, they did a lot of writing, and maybe they would get to go to court and watch a partner do a hearing at some point after they've been there a few years, and they'd put in their time, spending 80 hours a week writing briefs. And then maybe after 5 or 6 years, they might get to talk to a client. But let's go back to my first day at the public defender's office after I passed the bar and became a lawyer. So I walk into the office, and somebody hands me a stack of files, like can you see both hands? Like a big stack of files. And they're like, hey, all right, follow me. We're going to the courthouse. I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean we're going to the courthouse? Well, that's what we're doing. We're going to the courthouse. Got pre-trial conferences this morning. So I didn't know what was happening. So we get into the courthouse, and we walk into the courtroom. It's packed with people. Like, they're in all the seats. And my trial partner, so that's what they called. At the PD's office, all the attorneys are assigned to a judge, and they all have what's called a trial partner. So that means there's 2 public defenders and there's 2 state attorneys, and one public defender works with one attorney and one public defender works with the other state attorney. And so my trial partner, he tells me, okay, here's what you need to do. Take all these files and go talk to that woman over there who was the state attorney that handled all my files. Basically, we had A through H and L through Z. And so I went and I talked to her, and he's like, get all the deals. So she tells me, here's what the state's offering on all these cases. And so I figure that out. Then I go talk to all the clients, and then we talk to the judge, and we go through. And basically, at the end of the day, I mean, I was in court all morning long, and this is my first day. I met with like 20, 30 clients, and was giving legal advice. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no business giving legal advice. But here's the thing, and this is what it has to do with imposter syndrome. Even though I didn't know a thing about criminal law, I didn't know a thing about what to do or how to act in a courtroom, I knew more than my clients, because I'd been to law school for 3 years and I'd taken a bar exam, and I knew how to read the statutes and talk to the attorney, and I knew where to find the information that could help my clients. And I knew more than them. And for that reason, they looked to me for guidance and advice, and that's the way it works. And so after going to court day after day, week after week, I started to learn how to actually be a lawyer and how to work up my clients' files. Probably much more so than a lot of those attorneys that go to work for the big firms and do nothing but sit there and do research and writing all day. I mean, they don't get any experience talking to clients. They don't get any experience in court, but I did. I was getting all that experience, and it was like literally trial by fire. And eventually I did a jury trial, and actually I did another, and then I did another. And after being at the public defender's office for a year, I actually did 12 jury trials, and I won 11 of them. And with that experience, then I decided to open up my own law practice. And I still didn't know what I was doing. There were lawyers out there that were doing the same type of law as me that had years of experience. They were board certified. They were all these things. I knew nothing about what I was doing. And a lot of times, clients would call me and say they needed help with something, and I literally would say, okay, well, let's schedule your appointment out, 2 weeks from now. and then I would take that 2 weeks to like research and figure out everything I needed to know. Maybe take some other lawyers out to lunch and be like, hey, I've got this case coming up. It's this type of case. What do I need to know? Get forms and things like that. It's unbelievable the type of things that happen. And this is how you learn as a lawyer when you're just getting started in business. And again, it didn't matter that there were other attorneys that were out there that had more experience than me, because I was the right lawyer for those clients at that time. Whether they couldn't afford to hire a more experienced attorney or they just liked me more than the more experienced attorneys, whatever it was, they felt more comfortable with me and thought that I'd be able to help them through their problems, and that's what I did. And as the years went by, and as I started to learn more about online business as I was building my firm, I realized that I know a lot more than other people about online business too. And now, am I at the same level as someone like a James Webmore or John Lee Dumas or Amy Porterfield? No, but they all started someplace too. Like, everyone starts somewhere, and everyone has the same number of people on their email list and on their YouTube channel and on their TikTok and wherever else. When they first open that account, they all have 0. And for me, it's all about knowing a little bit more than the people that I'm coaching. And when I just got started, that's what I looked. That's how I looked at this as I know a little bit more than these other people. And in some cases, I know a lot more, but it just depends. So today I want to give you a couple of tips as you're going out there and you're like, you know what? Who am I to be teaching what I'm teaching, whatever that might be? You could be teaching basket weaving. You could be teaching, scuba diving. You could be teaching whatever. Whatever it is that you're teaching to other people, you just have to know a little bit more than they are. And if you know a little bit more than they are, then you can teach them something and you can help them get to where you're at. And so let me give you a couple tips for how you can get out of your own way and start moving forward with your online business. And the first tip I have for you is to do what you know. If I went out there and tried to teach, let's say, how to get a green lawn, I would be terrible at that. Because my lawn has never been green and I can't get it green. And as soon as I try and get it green, it dies. So, I tried to patch an area with grass this past spring, and I must have planted the wrong thing. And whatever I did, it became dirt after like a month. So the seeds never grew. I don't know. Anyway, so I would never teach that, but I know the law, I can teach that, and I know online business, I can teach that. So for you, whatever it is that you're teaching out there, do what you know, because it's going to be so much easier to start and build your business if you're teaching something that you actually have knowledge about. Like I said, when I got started as a lawyer, I was a lawyer. I had passed the bar exam. Went through 3 years of law school. It's the same level as everyone else who goes out there and starts practicing law. And for that reason, I was capable of doing that. And I knew enough to teach myself what I needed to know so I could help these people and adequately represent them. And that's what I did. And now today with online business, as I move through and I'm teaching people online business here on the channel and in my OB Foundations group, I know a lot about online business. I've been through a ton of courses, way more courses than you can possibly imagine. I've started numerous online businesses myself. And so, this is what I know, and this is what I enjoy, and this is what I like to teach. So that's the first thing. Do what you know. The second thing I actually got from Shane Sams. Some of you probably know Shane. He runs the Flipped Lifestyle community. And he uses this phrase that I absolutely love, and this is great for when you're just getting started. It's he says, post and ghost. and and basically what that means is get your information out there and then don't read the comments. If you're afraid of what the comments are going to say, if you're afraid of what people are going to tell you, that they're going to tell you that you don't know enough, that you don't have enough experience, whatever it might be, don't read them. You don't have to read them. I mean, I when I first started my YouTube channel, I was scared to death to read the comments because I started seeing comments come in. I went for like 2.5 years without posting anything. And I didn't even want to open the comments. I was afraid of what they were going to say, of what people were telling me. And it was awful. And so I didn't read them at all. And so that's the thing there. Just get the information out there. What you need to do is you need to start becoming more of a creator and not a consumer. So you use social media. Right now, a lot of you are probably out there using social media and you're consuming. Like right now, you're consuming this content, which is completely fine. But as you start to become an online entrepreneur, you're going to use social media in a different way. And you're going to use it as a creator. And you're going to create and post valuable content out there. You're going to get your information out there, and you're going to start creating more than you're consuming. And so think about it that way. Coco says, yes, I suffer from it. Yes, I mean, we all do. We're still here. All right, hopefully you can still hear me. Something just happened, and it went dead. I don't know what happened. Now we lost a bunch of people. Anyway, I'm sorry. We got some more people popping on. We lost a bunch of people there, but hopefully, I'm back up. Yes, I'm back up. I don't know what happened. I went away for a minute there, but I'm back. So anyway, what was I starting to say? So the second thing, was that get familiar with who you're helping and serving. When I was at the public defender's office, I was just getting started. I got to know my clients, because by getting to know my clients and understanding, what was going on in their lives, I learned that there's so, especially at the PD's office, when you had, 20, 30 people that you're meeting with in court that day, it was impossible to get to know all those people. But what I could do is I could get to know the people that really wanted to get to know me, and that people wanted to have a say in their case. Those are the ones that I was able to help the most. And as soon as I understood that these clients were facing jail time sometimes, or probation, and I was able to put myself in their position, that was what kept me going, because now I knew that I had a purpose behind what I was doing. These were people that were, for some reason, down on their luck. Some of them made bad choices. Some of them were bad people. I mean, they were just bad people, and there wasn't a whole lot I could do. But a lot of these people were first-time offenders, people that had never gotten in trouble before, and they just, they were in a bad situation. They made a bad choice, and they needed help out of it, and they couldn't afford to hire somebody else to help them. So I was the person that was able to help them make a difference. And so my goal was to try to find a way to positively impact my clients every single day. And that's a habit that I keep even to this day. I think it's so important that you constantly be aware of who it is you're trying to help and what it is they want. Because if you think about it from that perspective, it's going to give you if you don't already have it, it's going to give you even more motivation to move forward and help your clients and provide value to them. And so whether I'm dealing with a legal client or a coaching student in my membership program, I'm always thinking about who these people are, what they want, what their goal is. And that's what keeps me moving forward. So just to recap real quick, if you're trying to keep and avoid imposter syndrome, you are, number one, do what you know. Number two, post and ghost. Get out of the way. Don't read the comments if you're afraid of what they're going to say. And then finally, get familiar with who you're helping and serving, and use that as motivation to keep you moving forward. So let's see. I'm going to go through some comments here. And by the way, before I do that, I do want to let you all know there should be a link down in the description below to my online OB Foundation's membership community. We're doing a Better Than Black Friday sale now through it ends tomorrow night. You can get 60% off an annual membership, and this program is designed to help you start, build, grow, and protect your online business so you can truly change your life and the lives of your family and move forward with building an online business. So I'd love to see some of you in the community. Again, link down below. There should be a link down below. And but here's the link just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and take some questions. Let me look through the comments. We lost some people there in the middle when we dropped off. Let's see. Quality Assurance Man says, I'm from Virginia. I've been watching your videos because I want to start a business. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Work Life Home says, thank you. Cassandra says, create more than consume. Awesome point. I'm going to move these comments up here a little bit so they're out of my face. Let's see. I think that's better. Let's see. Aaliyah says, so happy to be available for this right now. I love it. I love your mask. That's awesome. Let's see. Coco says, great info. Dr. Redmond, have you already gone over strategies used in order to work through imposter syndrome? I just started to. The 3 that I talked about were do what you know, post and ghost, and get familiar with who you're helping and serving. So basically, do what you know. Don't start a business doing something that you really know nothing about. Kind of like me, I would never start a business teaching people how to plant a greener lawn because honestly, I can't do that. Conversely, I wouldn't start a business teaching somebody how to get into medical school because I've never done that either. But teaching people how to start an online business, teaching people how to legally protect their business, teaching people YouTube, these are the types of things that I'm familiar with that I feel comfortable teaching on. Post and ghost basically means just be a creator, not a consumer, right? Create more, add more value to the world. It's going to come back to you. And then get familiar with who you're helping and serving, and always keep them at the front of your mind. You might want to put it on a Post-it note, or something, and just put it on your bathroom mirror and remember who it is that you're providing this value for. Let's see. Do you offer trademark services and coaching? Yes, we do. If you go to hawthornelaw.net /fees, we talk about our trademark services there. So what other questions do people have about imposter syndrome? I'm happy to talk a little while longer. Again, I apologize that we got cut off there in the middle. I'm not sure what happened, but hopefully not too many of you missed what was going on. Elia says, I haven't logged in a new platform in Kajabi. Do we have modules like this in the new Business Foundations course? Yes, actually. So what I'm doing, Elia, is when I'm done with this training tonight, what I'll do is we'll take this back. We'll clean up the file and take out all the extraneous comments and questions and things like that, and shorten it up into a shorter file, and it'll get posted into the mindset course. So all of these. So after about a week or so, I'm going to be taking these videos down. These ones that are YouTube lives. Because honestly, they don't perform that well typically anyway on YouTube after about a week. For those of you who are thinking about doing a YouTube channel, that's the way live videos work. They just, unless you've got a following, people typically don't watch the live videos after they've already been live. But what I will do is clean them up, shorten them up, and make them much more consumable, and then put them as a training into the membership community. Getting some legal questions. I won't be answering those on the live stream tonight. This is really more about imposter syndrome and what people might be struggling with. So when we were on the coaching call today, we had one of the students in the community was really struggling with the fact that she wanted to launch her product, and she's been talking about this for several months now on the coaching calls, and so today she's like, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm planning on having my product ready to go by Sunday. And I was like, well, that sounds great, but have you pre-sold it yet? And she's like, no, I didn't actually even think to do that. And I pushed her. I'm like, okay, well, when are you going to pre-sell it? And she's like, well, I typically send my emails out on Monday. I said, well, why don't you send an email out today? She's like, well, maybe I'll write the email today. I'm like, well, why don't you send the email today? And she's like, well, because I don't really send them out until Monday. It's like, well, how do you know anyone's going to buy on Sunday? What's the worst that happens? And she said, well, the worst that happens is, I guess nobody buys and people get mad at me for sending the offer. I'm like, okay, what's the best that happens? She's like, well, then I get a lot of people that buy, and that's great. And I'm like, okay, so why don't you just send out an offer to people to buy your ebook? And she's like, okay, well, I'll think about it. So I don't know if she's going to or not. I'm going to hold her to it. Next week we do. So what we do in the community is we have on twice a month, we have a business coaching call and we have a legal coaching call. And the business coaching call deals with a lot of these issues like imposter syndrome and how to come up with the right business idea and marketing your online business and issues that you might be dealing with as you're starting to grow and build your business. And then the legal coaching call that we do, it'll be next week. We had to get it in before Thanksgiving. Typically they're staggered every other week or so, but we wanted to get it in before the holiday. So next week, what we're going to be talking about is the legal issues. So people might have questions about setting up their LLC or DBAs or things like that. So singing, dancing, muscle man, that's the type of things that we ask on those coaching calls. And answer on those coaching calls. So anyway, so hopefully that answers somebody's question. Let's see. What other questions do people have? I'm happy to stay on here as long as necessary to talk. I wanted to see what this time frame would be like versus typically going live during earlier in the day. I've been going live at noon, and it works sometimes, but I want to see if this time would be a little bit different. Do I still suffer from imposter syndrome? That is the $1 million question. Yes, as I said at the beginning, I think this is something that we all deal with on a regular basis, and I don't know how you can't. Because as soon as you reach a certain level in your business, you're going to be wanting to go to the next level, and then you're going to feel like you're not worthy of going to the next level. So I think it's always there. It doesn't really ever go away. It's just whether or not you move forward and take action despite of the imposter syndrome. I think in a way I've dealt with imposter syndrome for the last 10 years because for whatever reason, I've always identified as an attorney because I am an attorney. And the thought of saying, okay, I could also be an online business coach, I'm not identified by the fact that I am a licensed attorney. That doesn't mean I can't be an online business coach too. And I think I was always scared that my clients might judge me or maybe I would lose clients because I was doing something like teaching people how to build an online business, which is something I actually really enjoy. And so for a time it was like, well, maybe I'll just teach lawyers how to build a law firm because that's at least tangentially related to being a lawyer. And that's also actually, ironically enough, that's what a lot of lawyers do. There's a lot of lawyers out there that build these successful practices, and then they go out and they teach other lawyers how to build successful practices. But I want to be more broad than that. I don't really want to teach other lawyers how to build successful practices. I want to teach people how to build a business that can truly change their lives. And by limiting it to just lawyers, that's not something I really wanted to do. So, but yeah, I still deal with it. I still struggle with it. It's still something that, that I have to contend with on a daily basis. So So what other questions do people have? We still got some people on. Let me see. I mean, like I said, I'm happy to stay on as long as people are answering questions. Starting an online business was a tough thing, but let me share with you while I'm here. Let me see if I can do this. Let's switch this to preview mode. And I had this all set up until I actually lost my our connection earlier. So I want to show you kind of what it looks like in the OB Foundations community, if people are okay with that. And if you have questions, I'm happy to share. But so this is once you log in, and we had somebody, Elia, on here. I don't know if she's still here, asked about the community and what it looks like. So this is the Online Business Foundation's membership community. This is what it looks like. So once you get access, you can log in, and this is what you'll see. So we have a new membership orientation here that has a number of things that we ask you to do and want you to do. Everything that's in here is geared to be step by step, right? And so this is the first course, and then this is the Online Business Blueprint, which is what we're actually still building out. So the course is everything related to the legal side and the coaching calls and things like that. That's all built out. We're still building out some of the other programs. The Online Business Blueprint is something we're still working on. The community forums, this is an area that I really am putting a lot of emphasis into. I really want to build a community here where people can help one another and post their questions, post their successes, post their action plans, different things like that. We're starting to get some posts in here, but this has only been live for about a week, and so we're still the new responses are trickling in. We have, of course, the Lock It Down Legal Toolkit, which is the foundational course that I launched last year. And this has just a ton of information in here about how to build and protect your online business. And then we have, along with that, we have the legal templates and documents. So you only get access to these if you sign up for the annual plan. And basically what we're doing this week through tomorrow night is we're offering 60% off the annual plan if you join. And so as I think I showed before, I posted the website you can go to get access to this if that's something you'd be interested in doing. And then we have a monthly area or the membership area for our monthly calls. So you can see we have a whole archive of calls that we've done, and then we try and my VA, she actually summarizes each of the calls, and so if you can't be there and you had a question, we'll answer your question on the call, and then we summarize everything with timestamps for where the information is. We have subject matter expert trainings as well, and so these are different subject matter experts we brought on to talk to the group. So we've had people like Rick Mulready, Michael King, Gordon Firemark, who's a well-known attorney in Los Angeles, Gloria Chow, who's a nationally renowned PR person, Brittany McBean is an expert copywriter, Josh Brown, another nationally renowned attorney. So we bring these people on periodically. We're bringing on a TikTok person in January to talk to the group. And then this is where our Mastering Your Mindset, so this is where we're putting all the other trainings that we're doing and bringing them into the course as well. So we're going to have a whole, I'm hoping to have 10 or 15 trainings here on mindset in this short little module. And then we have a Lock It Down Startup Toolkit, which is basically our LLC formation course. And then we have a workshop here on how to start and build your, make your first 1K online. So that's what's kind of behind the scenes there in the toolkit, and that's what's available. So you can go to obfoundations.com/btbf to get access to that. So let's see. Does anyone else? Dora says, thank you for this live. I appreciate that, Dora. Thank you. Does anyone else have questions that they'd like to ask before we go? I'm happy to stay on. It looks like our numbers are dwindling. I think hopefully people can still hear me all right. I'm getting a little error message here, but I think people can. Otherwise, everyone would have dropped off and probably left me comments. So that's kind of all I have for tonight. So hopefully you found this helpful. I like doing these, and this is the second one I did today. I may be back again tomorrow with another training on something related to mindset as well. Or maybe I'll be doing Imposter Syndrome again if the recording did not work so well. But thank you so much for being on tonight. Let's see. Elias says, thanks, Jim. We'll log into the new platform tonight. Yeah, I am. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully you like it. Make sure you post in the forums and let us know what you're up to, Elia. So thank you so much for everyone being here, and I hope you have a great night, and I will see you soon, and hopefully see you in the community as well. Take care.